Hey Will, this is Zach. The purpose of this first video is to just kind of give you an introduction to what it is I'm asking you to invest in. The portion of my business that I'm wanting to focus on with this is my lead generation website building. And what that is I go into Google and I pick a specific construction niche, because I typically focus on contractors, subcontractors, just all those different types of construction fields, because that's what I'm familiar with and I know more about what these guys do than any other industry. So I find that niche that I want to focus on, and I find an area that I want to focus on. In this case, it was Miami Painting Company, which focuses on painting contractors in the Miami area. This was just a location that I picked out of thin air. I was like, well, what's a big city in the U.S. that I could maybe find a painter for? And lo and behold, I selected Miami, and there happened to be a good opportunity there. But what I do is I build these websites out after I compile all the data and do all the research to make sure it's a good value. I build these websites to generate leads. I mean, you can see there's phone numbers here, contact forms for people to fill out, and this is all optimized to Google standards, so over time I'm able to rank number one and be pulling in all the traffic for the area. I go pick me a contractor, say, hey, I got all this work coming in, I need somebody to do the work, can I give you these leads? I usually let them try out the first 5 to 10 depending on the niche. This niche, I'm doing 10 just so my contractor that I'm working with at the moment knows, like, hey, these are legit. I can actually make money off of these. And hopefully out of those 10, he's able to close, say, 2 deals. And if that's the case, he's going to say, with as much money as there is in painting, he's going to say, you know, it's worth the money to pay this guy every month, and he's just going to keep bringing me more and more work. That's the model for the business that I'm shooting for. It's to bring value to a company. They recognize that value and pay me monthly for the value. So that being said, I want to walk you through exactly what it is that I do to come up with the research data, as well as how I go about building these websites out and getting them ranking in Google. So when it comes to ranking in Google, there's 3 main things that I focus on. Number 1 is going to be content, which Google wants to see at least 1,500 words worth of content on your homepage, followed by 500 to 750 words worth of content on any back pages and linking pages to your homepage. The second thing I focus on is my backlinking power, making sure that I'm getting high quality backlinks pumping into my site. That way that Google's recognizing more authority that my site has, and they're going to rank me higher and higher on the organic listing through that. The third thing that I focus on is the Google Map Pack, which consists of citations, which are your name, address, and phone number, as well as optimizing your Google My Business profile, and we'll get more into that later down the road. As far as content goes, you can see I've filled out a ton of content on this website. I typed all of it myself. This is just the home page, but I've got all my back pages, high quality content, full of pictures that have the alt image text optimized for keywords. And I actually want to go into how I start my research for these keywords. So like I said, I find that industry as well as the area that I want to get involved in, and I start doing research for keywords, find out what I need to be ranking for, what I need to do to beat the competition. So in this case, I typed in Miami Painter. We'll go back to this first page here. So I Google Miami Painter. Number 1 in the Google Map Pack is Florida Painting Company. So I picked their website out, and I know that this is a keyword for painting in Miami. I mean, it's just a generic buyer intent keyword. Come over to this tool that I have called Ahrefs. I take their URL, I plug it into Ahrefs, and when I do that, it's going to give me all these different statistics for their website, so I can kind of see just exactly what kind of value, being at the number 1 spot for that keyword is going to bring. Right here, we can see they're pulling in 153 traffic a month. So let's say out of those 153 people, 20% of them turn into clients, and that ends up being, 30 people. Well, if you have 30 clients in a month in the painting niche, all jobs are at least $1,000 for the most part, and you're talking about 30 grand that I'm making this client a month if I can encapsulate all that traffic. You charge 5 to 10% on that $30,000 that you make them. You're looking at $1,500 to $3,000 a month coming into your pocket just for a website that is gathering the traffic and doing all the work for you once you've done the front end work. But anyway, so I come in, I plug in their URL, like I said, and I figure out their organic traffic. It's like, okay, there's a lot of traffic in the area for this niche. And then next I focus on keywords and how difficult it's going to be to rank for those keywords. So right here, I can see everything that they're ranking for in some of the generic buyer intent keywords that are in the area. And like I said, you want to focus on ones like painting companies in Miami, because if somebody's focusing and searching on that, they're most likely looking to spend some money on painting in the Miami area. That being said, like this keyword, for example, has 150 search volume a month, and the difficulty of ranking for it is a 4, and that's on a scale from a 1 to 100. Now, for all my lead gen websites, I try to stick to the difficulty being a 0 to 5, because those can typically be ranked for in 2 to 3 months, provided you're doing the work. So I come through here, I pick up all these different keywords, and I compile the data into an Excel spreadsheet that I have built out, which gives me the keyword, the difficulty, the volume, cost per click if I want to run Google Ads. And then I come through here and I figure out how many times I need to be putting them on all my different pages, because I don't want to overstuff keywords on pages, because Google actually ends up docking you for doing that, especially if you start typing sentences on your pages that don't make any sense and they just have keywords stuffed off in them. They're gonna send you down the list rather than up. You can see here some of the main keywords that I focused on whenever I built out my website were like painters in Miami, high search volume, lower KD, Miami painting, high search volume, lower KD. Those are the words that I focused on whenever I built out that website. So if you actually read through it, you'll see the majority of the words that I have posted in there are going to be circling around this specific keyword. That's actually why I named the company that for the website Miami Painting Company, because that main keyword is in the name. I mean, it's just more of an excuse for you to be getting that keyword out there and start ranking for it better and better. So after I compile all this data, and I know what keywords I need to be ranking for as well as how hard they are to rank for, I start looking at my competitor's backlink profile. And the backlinks are another aspect that are going to send you up the list. Like I said, you're going to be getting authority in Google's eyes by having a good backlink profile. And what you want is a trust flow and citation flow ratio of 1 to 1, and you want these numbers to be as high as you can. And you can see Florida Painting, Miami URL, that company that we were looking at a minute ago, they're not anywhere close to the 1 to 1 ratio. They have a decent topical trust flow, but their trust flow is low. I mean, like I said, they have a good citation flow, but you want that 1 to 1 ratio, and that this is just something that they would be able to focus on and bump themselves up even higher in the organic search, and not just have that Google Map Pack spot, but have that number 1 organic spot as well. And we can go ahead and take a look at the website that I built out. And I've only been working on this website for 2 weeks. Like I said, it usually takes 2 to 3 months to get all the backlinks and citations done to where you are optimized in Google's eyes. And you can see I've got a 17 to 18 trust flow to citation flow. I'm knocking on that 1 to 1 ratio's door, and I've got a lot of good topical trust flows. Shopping, my business topical trust flow is focusing, construction, and maintenance. I mean, that's honestly the best one that you would be able to find going out and getting these backlinks. But the way I go about doing this is I find a bunch of different websites around the country that have high backlinking power, and I figure out, okay, what kind of profile do they have? What kind of backlinks can I copy off of theirs? Because I could actually we'll pretend like this is a competition's website. Now I can go through here, I can see all the different backlinks that I have coming to my website, all the different anchor texts that I've entered as well. And I can do this on a competitor's website and figure out, okay, I want to get this backlink because it has a good 1 to 1 ratio, and it's going to pump some more power to my website. So that's how I do my research on backlinks, and how I'm able to go out and get high quality links and hit this 1 to 1 ratio, is just by doing my research and putting in some hard work. The next thing I focus on, we're going to go back to that Google My Business and the Google Map Pack right here. So I focus on citations for the Google Map Pack, as well as what I need to do in order to upload enough photos to my Google My Business and all of that, so I can be optimized and be beating these guys out whenever it comes to any kind of citations or photos. And I need to work on my reviews more than anything, because that's what I guarantee is keeping them at the number 1 spot right now, is the fact that they have so many reviews. And you can actually go out and go on Craigslist for the area and pay people, $5 to say, hey, write me a 5-star review, I'll send you $5. Super easy way to do it. It's a good way to get reviews and get your company bumping up to the top. But going back to the citations, I come through here to another tool that I have called WhiteSpark. I enter in a company's info. You can see Miami Painting Company right here. We have 9 citations right now. Again, this is early in the company's life, or the website's life, to have a bunch of citations, but I usually shoot for 200 to 300, and which can easily be accomplished within 2 months or so on having these citations put in. But you can see Florida Painting Company right here, they only have 52. So I get 200 citations, I'm blowing them out of the water in that aspect of getting in that #1 spot. The next thing we want to talk about for the Google My Business is going to be the photo uploads. So you can see I've uploaded all these free photos that aren't copyrighted to kind of show, hey, we're a painting company. I even built out this little logo and everything. Show people that, hey, we're a painting company. You can see they've gotten all these views, 42 views in a week on this one photo, 43 on this one, so on and so forth. So that's just one way to optimize your Google My Business profile. And I also want to make sure I come down through here. I put all my business hours in. I make sure we have our address in correctly and all of that. And the only way to get an address for Google My Business in somewhere that you don't have a house is I use what's called the Airbnb method, or I'll find a post office I can get just a P.O. box at. Pretty easy. It saves a lot of money in doing it that way, because you can have your Google My Business card sent to that mailbox. You can go ahead and get it verified, showing that, hey, the company is, in fact, in Miami. Get that verified. You can start working on this profile, getting it up to speed, and start ranking higher and higher in that Google Map Pack. P.O. Box method, and the other way is do Airbnb. Like, say there's not a P.O. Box in the area, I can get on Airbnb, I can find cheap listings on their website. I can contact the owner, say it's $20 a night. I can say, hey, I'll Venmo you $20, which is what you have your listing posted at. Send them the money, and they give me their address. I can send the verification card to their address. They shoot me the code. That way I can go ahead and verify the Google My Business profile, and boom, we're up and running in Miami, just like that. So those are the two different ways that I go about getting that verification whenever I don't have a house or access to anybody with a house in those areas.